Hello everybody and welcome back to Ebony Island. Oh, all three of our fields are ready to harvest. I've already harvested one of them, which is that one there on the right. So going to be harvesting both these fields here, and we'll get the straw swath here picked up from the field. I'm hoping to get enough money together to try and purchase this field here. I'm not sure what's in there. I think it may be potatoes. If it is, I will wait until after it's been harvested and I'll buy it then. We've got a lot of honey to sell as well, so we'll need to get rid of some of that. There's quite a... I think I was the wrong field. It's this one that was harvested by me. Beg your pardon. So it's that one over there in the corner that needs to be done. Yeah, so there's a lot of honey to be sold off, so we're going to need to try and get rid of that as well. I was mentioning in previous episode that I wanted to put a fill station in, and I had a suggestion to use the FieldWork fill containers, and that was by Gaming Joy. And thank you to Farmer Mike, who pointed me in the direction of those. So I've actually got one of them already put on the farm, which I'll show you in a little while. So thank you to Farmer Mike for suggesting that. That was I appreciate that. So yeah, as I say, we'll get these fields done, and I'll rent out a baler and we'll get the bales all picked up. I am going to need to get a bigger trailer as well, so I have been looking at one of the bale loading trailers, which I think was about 8,000. So plan is we can put a worker on here, we can sell the honey, see what we're sitting at, and possibly buy a bigger trailer for the honey pallets or for loading up the bales here. Potentially I would like to use it for the honey pallets because we do get an awful lot of them, and use the smaller one for the bales because they'll only be small bales and I'll be able to lift them by hand. So that will be probably the easier option. I'm not actually sure what are we sitting at. 95% yield on certain places, so the yield should be pretty good. Not 100% sure what I'm doing with the wheat at the moment, but I think we'll just put it into the silo, and maybe further down the line, if we do buy a production to make flour, maybe we have got the option to use the small windmills. We could start making flour, but first I would really like to get a bigger area to do that with. So say one of the farms I was showing in a previous episode is the one on the top right, which is empty. So it's just a complete blank canvas, so to speak, so we can build up our own farm there as well. So we can potentially swap round the farmyards and stuff. So it would put the worker on that just now. It will mean that we will be further away then from our fields that we have here, but we can keep some equipment down here, and then we can just utilize what we have. In the meantime, if we do go and buy the new plot, so if we go up, here is the new plot up here. It does come with a small patch of grass, which did have, I think it was a sheep pen on it. So that's 58 grand. Nearly 59 grand. So yeah, we could do that and make that our goal to try and get that plot of land up there. Now this is the FieldWork silo. Now there is different variations of this one, which I'll show you. and it is under container. Now here they are here. There's the sort of newer models and the older models. So I've gone with the older models, £1,000 difference. So this is the free one. This one will give you everything free. I don't want to be going down that route, so I've chosen the other option, which will, I think it's giving me 30% reduction in price if I buy it in bulk. And this is the silo, so they give you a silo as well, so that might be pretty handy up at the other farm, another silo. So we've got the fields down here, and eventually we could have the fields up the top, maybe a couple of fields up the top as well. Do some grass work. I would like to, as I say, get a bigger cow pen. Nothing too extravagant, but something a little bit bigger. So the cows are doing fine. We've got plenty of slurry being made, milk being made, and yeah, we've got some manure too. So yeah, the honey pallets, I'm not going to be loading that too. I'll leave that too just now, but we've got this lot here to sell. I can't remember what the best time was to sell it. I think it's later on in the year. I think I've gone right past it. Honey, there we are. So it is February, right? So we're in August now. So it's kind of at its lowest at the moment. But we will be going to the... We could go to the supermarket. We could go to the cereal factory. It is a fair distance away. And we have the highest price at the supermarket, but we're just going to go to the farmer's market anyway, which is just down the road. It's more convenient for us, so we'll take the honey and we will go down and sell it there. But all in all, I think we're doing pretty well. We will get an irrigation, well, we will get a water system put in for the greenhouses, or the greenhouse, at some point. Although I think the plan was that we would get a separate area and put greenhouses on that, which we could probably put up the top farm. So yeah, I've definitely got my mind set on that farm up the top. I did also have another comment on one of my videos about not using my beacons, but unfortunately with this tractor it does not actually have beacons, so I hopefully will get away with this being on the road with no beacons. So I will do my best to use my beacons on the road from now on. Contracts as well, we'll take a look at contracts and see if there's anything going on that we can do in the meantime as well. And we'll get the small baler rented out for the field. Right, let's sell this honey. Nearly 6,000. Not going to complain at that. That's a pretty good. That is pretty good. So if we buy the bigger trailer, it's going to be leaving us with 10 grand. We do have the option to pick up another couple of the collectibles, so we just need to keep our eyes out for them. If we see any, there's one there, but I do not know how I'm going to get to that. I might need a telehandler or something for that, so that'll be a good one in the distant future for that. I think we're ready to unload that harvester and take it to the silo. Probably best wait until the field's completely finished before taking it to the silo, actually. Well, now we can actually use this trailer actually for the bales. So yeah, we'll take this one over at the field actually. Really got to stop saying that word so often. I do tend to say that word a lot. Right, this will be perfect actually. This will be perfect to use now. So we can park this trailer up here. And we'll jump out and we'll unload the old harvester. So yeah, I think what we'll do after we've harvested these fields is we shall just return the harvester and just rent it out as we need it. Until such time we can afford to buy our own one. The fields are not massive, so we wouldn't need to buy such a big harvester. Something that size that I've got now here rented out would be perfect. But we'll see what happens. We do have a lot of options for, I think that one's pretty cheap anyway. There is an even cheaper one, but it's very, very slow, so I don't really want to go down that route. Right, let's go and empty this guy out. So by the looks of things, we're going to need a bigger tipper trailer as well. So I think what we could do, maybe have a look on the second-hand store catalog and see if they have anything available. This holds 5,000 litres, so we're going to need something that's going to hold at least double that, to be honest. Oh, and I forgot to put the beacons on. Beacons are on. Before I get into trouble again. Right, while that's loading, unloading, we shall have a look and see. Nope, there's definitely nothing there, but we do have a little tractor here. 10,000. Nice 150 horsepower. Manual. Not a bad little tractor, that. And we do have the option for... Oh, it's going to take a different attachment altogether, so I think we'll just pass on that one. I think we will pass on that one. Right, so nothing in the second-hand store, so we're going to need to try and find a bigger trailer, actually. Get back up to the field and we can have a look on the store and see what they'd have. Because we will need to go up to the store anyway to rent the baler out. We'll just have a look at the trailers here. So we want something that's around about double 10,000 litres. Probably would be a bit more sufficient. We do have this one at 12, but it's quite large. I want to try and find something a bit smaller. It's not going to... That one's not a bad one. There's 12,000. That's 12,000. It's 16.5. Could change the colour to a nice crimson colour. We could go with a grey colour. Don't want any of the added extras on there. We don't really need it, so I want 16.5. And then we do have, I think that one's 8.2. Don't know why I came off that. We do have plenty of options. This one here, 10,800. 13.2 thousand litres, so that's not a bad option there. So yeah, we do have plenty of options. Oh dear, the choices. I mean, that would be a better price for us at 9,400. It's only 8.2. I want to really try and get something that's at least double. That one would be okay. It's not too massive. And you can go up to 12, but 44,000 is quite expensive. I'm thinking really that's the only option, to be honest, this one here, the Lizard. I mean, that one goes up to 8,000. That's only 5 grand. I mean, 8,000 is 3,000 more than what we're getting, so probably have to bite the bullet and say we're not going to get one at 10,000 litres. Yeah, I think we're kind of stuck at that at the moment. Right, okay. So I'll get these fields finished, and then we'll go to the store and I'll get all the bits and pieces together, and I shall meet you back down here at the fields. Okay, everybody, so I did the harvesting and got a bit ahead with the field work, so I've ploughed that first 2 fields there in at the back. Now just do a couple of passes on this and then I'll let a worker go on it. I've noticed on this map that the stones are very large, so it's going to be, at some point we're going to need to buy a stone picker just to pick up the stones, which we can possibly use to make our own line, but I can't just buy it from the buying station anyway. Or we could save them up to sell them, not that we'll get much for it, but they will need to be kind of picked up. Can't roll them in. There's absolutely no point in buying a roller at this stage until we can get the stones sorted out. So what I'll do is, I've bought a couple of pieces as well. Well, I bought one piece, or should I say I actually changed one piece, and that was a fuel tank that I've got on the yard, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So we'll get a worker on this, and then we're going to need to put seed in. As I say, I've turned seasons off, so we're going to jump over to the Hurleman here, and then we'll grab the seeder and we'll start putting some seed in. I've kind of picked the field I want for the grass. What we're going to put in one of the other fields will be soybeans, and I'm thinking we could probably put wheat or barley in one of the other fields. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, actually. I think we'll go with barley. Actually, we'll go with barley on this top field here, and then on the other field just below it here, we'll go with the grass because it's kind of bigger field. So we'll get started on putting be handy if I... Right. Be handy if I turned the seeder on. That would be a great start. So yeah, we'll put barley in here, grass, and then we'll put soybeans back in that field down there. What else was I going to do? There is still baling contracts and stuff, but we're not going to go into that yet. I want to get these fields all prepped up and ready. Oh, prepped up and done. We'll get a worker on this in just a moment. And then we'll just finish off the bits that they miss, because they are going to miss some bits and pieces of the field. Okay, so let's get back over to the old bike here. And I'll show you the fuel tank that I got, which is just round the back here, which is this one here. This one is the old fuel tanks. So there's different varieties that you get. You get the old ones and you get the new ones. So I've kind of gone for the older ones. Thanks to Farm Sim Snowy for letting me know what the name of this one was. I couldn't actually find it, so he pointed me in the right direction, and here it is. So yeah, the prices for the fuel, 9,700 for 3,000 litres, and then for 1,000 it's 3,245. And also the buying station. Now what I was going to say was that the idea I had for the Fiat tractor that I was going to buy, which was this one here, it does go up to 250 horsepower. Now I'm just having a look at the other ones, and I couldn't see any of the others that really went that high. So I kind of thought it's a bit unrealistic to be using that kind of power on a small tractor like that, considering the John Deere 6M series only goes up to 140 horsepower. I mean, I could have then just gone with this at 300 horsepower, which is just ridiculous. So I wasn't going to do that. So what I did was I have got this one here, the Velmet 1203, which only goes up to 135 horsepower. It's a nice tractor from the 1980s. There's two versions of that. You get this one here, which is the permanent front loader, but we'll probably end up going for something like this. There's plenty of options to go through, but it does come with the front loader option. Now I'm thinking of using that one as the workhorse for the fields rather than going too unrealistic with the horsepower. We can eventually, we will work up to the medium tractors, but until then we're sticking with the small ones, and I'm not wanting to go to an unrealistic sort of horsepower, so to speak. I've come up with, as you can see here, the stones are just all red. It's just red all over. So yeah, you can see where my dilemma is for getting the... No, that was... yeah, I should have done a headland. You can see where my dilemma is with the stones. So yeah, it's going to be a case of trying to get rid of these stones. But not right now. We'll see what kind of yield we're going to get. I'm not sure if the stones actually affect the yield that you get, but we'll soon find out once I get the fertilizing on and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we definitely won't be able to roll these ones in. So do a couple of passes on this headland here, and we'll set this worker off again. I was talking before about purchasing the farm on the top right of the map, and I've actually been thinking long, well, say thinking long and hard. I've been thinking about it, and I've decided I am not going to purchase that one. It's too far away, and it's just not going to do. It's not going to benefit me for this series. So I've decided that the best course of action would be to take the farm that's just along the road right there. So what I'll do is set this worker off again, and then I'll explain. Right, so currently own this 3 fields here. So I want to purchase this area here, which is going to take sort of larger equipment. At least there is a large grass pasture here, which did have an animal. We had a cow pasture on it for, I think it was 1,000 cows. There is no pasture there now, because I had to get rid of some of the animal pastures to be able to put the cow barn on the original farm. So this is going to take some larger equipment. There is a house on here which we'll get rid of, because we won't need that, because we will still be living over there. So we purchased this, and then as we go through, we pretty much want to be owning all this section here. And then what we can do is we could actually join, join some of these together. Maybe take 3 and join them into make 1, take 2 and join them into make 1, and so forth. See how we get on from there. We may purchase this area down here. There will be no logging, so forestry will not be getting bought. We're going to try and utilize what we have to the best of our ability. So that's the main goal for this series, is to own all this section right here. We're going to own this area here. Now this should be sufficient in size for us to have all the equipment we need. We can change out the sheds and stuff, which we probably will do, but that is going to be our main goal, is to literally own all of this section right here. So that's the goal for the series. As far as, why are you not lifting the cedar? As far as the type of equipment, we finish with what we finish with. So I'm not too worried about what equipment we have at the very end of the series. So yeah, we'll get soybeans back in this field here. As I was checking the sort of size of the field, I just went by the price. That one was 37, and that one was only 35, and this one was just slightly cheaper, but this one seemed to be the bigger one for the grass. So that is pretty much what we're going to try and achieve. Before we get to this sort of area here, I want to be owning all 4 of these. So we'll see how we get on with that. As for this area, what we could do is we could literally sell everything on here, and we can probably utilize this area for something else. It's just things working out, trying to work things out as I go along. If we sell all this stuff, then we can potentially use this area to maybe put an extra production on. Maybe we could probably put some extra production on, but we'll see how we get on. So I think I'm going to leave it here for today, guys. So if you have enjoyed what you've seen, please leave a like, and also if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It would really help me out a lot. And yeah, so I hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.